Hello there commanders and welcome to the first video on the new official SUNTZU Tournaments channel. I'm SUNTZU, the leader and founder of the SUNTZU clan, and I'm thrilled to take you on our new Total War venture starting with SUNTZU's 13th anniversary tournament and its opening act. The upper bracket round of 16, match 1, battle 1 between Team the Wilder commanding the Greenskins as Wurrzag and Charix leading Beastmen as Taurox the Brass Bull. I would usually skip the loading, but since this is our first video on this new channel, let me take this time to address you, the viewers. You have a great opportunity to shape this channel and the entire SUNTZU Tournaments project by providing your feedback in the comments below in these early days as we iterate through different ideas before we settle on a formula. We would also really appreciate any help with getting the word about SUNTZU Tournaments to the broader Total War community so that we all can share a nice, entertaining experience of high-quality tournaments with broad coverage. If that got you interested about what our plans for the future are, feel free to ask any questions in the comments, as we have a battle on our hands. So, let's start with Greenskins and their army. Team the Wilder, who is commanding them as Wurrzag, has brought a mixture of orc boys and savage orcs as his front line, who are supported by Squig herds and orc boar boy biggins. Oh boy, this is going to be difficult to say quickly in the heat of the battle. Anyway, Squigs and boar guys are there to provide anti-large or anti-infantry and armor-piercing damage. This will be useful against infantry of Charix and his Minotaurs. Anyway, his infantry is a mix of Ungor herd and Gore herds. And the Gore herds, I think, are mostly in the reinforcements, although we do have a Gore herd Regiment of Renown over here on the left flank, pushing through using its stock ability. They are backed up by 4 units of Ungor Riders and then Taurox the Brass Bull together with a Bray Shaman of Wild and some Minotaurs also under Regiment of Renown, Butchers of Kalkengrand. These guys are especially good because they have regeneration, although weakness to fire, but I don't think Greenskins have any fire damage in the repertoire, so they should be more than fine and be able to use that regeneration as they please. Also very nice of the players not to do for the first 2 minutes other than just summoning more and more reinforcements to their armies, so that I can present their armies to you. Speaking of which, and providing feedback as I asked you to in the intro, you can tell me whether you would like to get to know the armies on the battlefield itself, or maybe we should look at them and also the entire reinforcement roster before loading into the replay. As in that menu you have the entire army loaded out. Please provide that feedback and I'll try this and this, we'll see how you like it, etc, etc. As I said, we'll be iterating many different ways. You provide feedback on your ideas or which style you preferred. Anyway, the points have unlocked. Beastmen have captured points 2 and 3. Greenskins are about to capture point number 1 as they are capturing only with Wurrzag, and looks like we are about to get our first engagement between the Gore herd Regiment of Renown and some orc boys supported by a Squig herd. They should trade up because of the combination of Squig herds and regular infantry. And as you can see, their combined damage as gold value is higher than that of the Gore herd. But their support is also coming in. We have Minotaurs coming in with great weapons, who are anti-large, so nothing large in there to beat. Although, here come Orboar Biggins. Also we saw a Bray Scream, I believe it was, hitting the infantry, trying to turn this battle around. And another spell, Traitorkin, upgraded, so overcasted. Dealing nice direct damage. So both players are throwing a lot of the resources to fight here on the flank, try to maybe break through and into the forest. We have the Butchers of Kalkengrad coming in together with Taurox, smashing into some Squig herds. A Fist of Gorg being cast on Orboar Biggins, charging into some Ungor Riders, so nicely catching the archers through a gap in the formation of Beastmen. Well done on the Greenskins. Although these archers have already managed to wipe out one Savage Orc Our Boys unit, as they were outnumbered to 1. Here we go, another Edbat this time around, nicely smashing into 2 units of Ungor Herd, dealing quite significant damage. So Wurrzag has done quite a lot of value already. And that's pretty nice for them. Taurox the Brassbull trying to push through to Wurrzag, trying to get rid of him, but can't even push for Savage Orcs. And another that was Gaze of Mork. Yes, I'm still learning the game. I'll get these spells right eventually, although, I mean, I did get them right here, but, you know, still wasn't sure. Marauders with great weapons, suffering from fire from these Savage Orc boys. Pretty well positioned at the top of a hill, having a clear shot, not obstructed by their own units. Also Regiment of Renown, Orc Boy Biggins, Boar, yeah, those guys. And we have Groghoofs of Wolf's Run, Senigors, Throwing Axes, Regiment of Renown, being chased away by another unit of Orc Boar Biggins. I'll say that right eventually, maybe, maybe not. And Greenskins are wrapping the flank around, have punched through Ungor Herd, and now Squig Herds and Orc Boys are ravaging through the backline of Ungor Riders as they retreat to the forest, and they can potentially summon some reinforcements from here to try to intercept. And the choice has been Centigors. Well, Centigors are not going to fare well against regular infantry, but they will definitely arrive here fast, and they will be sufficient to stop them in their tracks, as Ungor Riders can just run away from the infantry. So there we go, Archer backline has been saved, but pushed back quite significantly, but now we have a split engagement, and also on line 1 and 2 there's like nobody here, so either point is up for grabs for the respective enemy team. Another Gaze of Mork trying to snipe, I believe, Taurox the Brassbull, but slightly missing, but even still landing in the midst of these Minotaurs, so doing a nice damage. Ungor Riders now focusing, maybe dealing some friendly fire here, as Centigors should obstruct them a little bit, but still should be pretty good engagement with the archer firing there, although much better target here, I believe. But, you know, shields in left hands, maybe that's something thought of, I don't actually know. Another spell going down, Traitorkin, wiping out the remaining Orc Boy Biggins, and hitting Mogrubb's Mangy Marauders, the Goblin Wolf Archers, or Regiment of Renown. So far, the battle is a little bit equal, slightly in favor of the Greenskins, although if you see damage dealt as value and then damage or gold value on the ground, although it doesn't take into account spells, but then again, both sides have spells, so still, very, very equal battle. And now, what I mentioned earlier, Chaos Warhounds with Poison are charging to point number 1, trying to flip it. It's a very cheap and fast unit, why not take the gamble? If they get repelled, nothing really lost, but the opportunity has been taken, and it also diverts some resources from the Greenskin army. And it seems as if, after defeating these Orc Boys, Beastmen will stay in control of the center. Point number 3 will stay in their hands, although right now it is in Greenskins' hands, so it has been flipped briefly, but not for long, as the Squig Herd is being finished off by all the Minotaurs and Centigors and whatnot. So, Greenskins are now trying to reform their lines, as Beastmen are in relentless pursuit. Taurox is still trying to get to Wurrzag, but, well, he has speed 64, Wurrzag has speed 60 on top of a Boar. Another Gaze of Mork landing mostly into a tree. That is definitely unfortunate. Magic being so powerful and being stopped by a tree. Interesting choice. But maybe we'll see a duel between Taurox and Wurrzag as he's chasing him, but Wurrzag is still running away. Well, he is mostly a caster, and Taurox the Brassbull is one of the most powerful melee lords in the game, 130 armor, a lot of melee damage, so he is definitely up there. Archers, units of Greenskins are trying to clean out the line, or the units that have dug deep into their lines, as cavalry is being used to stop any pursuers. Another got an headbutt, slightly missed, but still hit their target on the side. And now Taurox, the Brass Bull, is surrounded by Squig herds, Boar boys, and now Wurrzag is finally getting into the thick of it himself. So many particle effects, it's difficult to see what's going on. Oh, nice hit there by Wurrzag. Let's see if Taurox can respond. Nicely done. But, you know, I don't want to be one of those YouTubers who zoom in only to miss what the hell is going on everywhere else, but it seems like nothing much, just some archer exchanges. So you might as well see here, Taurox is wavering. Let's see if Wurrzag can land the final hit on him. He might be routed now, given how he's behaving. Yes, he is routed, but can't really run away, and Wurrzag lines up straight into between the butt cheeks. And another one, as Taurox is still standing tall. Chaos Manticore on a rampage, and there we go, Taurox goes down, clings his throat, even that's not where he was hit. Okay, now we see some butchers of Calculating Environmentals with shields pushing forward, being held back by a Squig herd. They'll have no problem cleaning them out. A very nice damage gold as value already. They have paid for themselves essentially. Plus they are melee units, so they do a lot of tanking as well. It's more on the archer units to exceed their cost in damage, as that's pretty much the only thing they do. Wurrzag now trying to push back. Beastmen have the penalty of losing their lord, so their morale is suffering. We see on the breakdown here, Lord dead, -10. The Greenskins, Beastmen aren't particularly known for their high morale. So are Greenskins, but Greenskins have their lord still. Who is now fighting here, still above half HP, so pretty healthy. Although his main attribute, which is magic, is pretty much out of it. Only 8 winds of magic, so Fits of Gork, Headbutt maybe. Oh, I think that was a Gaze of Mork. Yep. So he has one more Gaze of Mork. Let's see if he will use it nicely. Bray Shaman, I think he must have been summoned back after he was charged in here and probably died. So he's back on the field, providing an aura as well of encouragement. We should have that. There we go. To bring the morale back in order. And even though the battle is very even in terms of gold value on the field, it is the Beastmen army that is in firm control over the score. And Greenskins would need to capture all 3 points in order to hope for a comeback, but they don't have anything on the 1-2 line. Whereas the Beastmen, I think, correctly realize what's going on. They can even abandon point number 3. Greenskins are free to take that back if they want. That's still not going to bring them victory. They just need to plant their feet firmly on point number 2, and that will be enough for a victory. That being said, they still feel quite confident around here. They have a lot of mobile units. Maybe the Centaurs with throwing axes will go for... Oh, got you! Wurrzag was unsummoned. That is against the rules. But the rules is unless thing is reported, an instance of rules being broken. There we go. I'm not good at English. I'm sorry for that. Unless it is reported, it won't be investigated. Although obviously it is difficult for a player to notice something like that in the thick of a battle. But well, Charix didn't report that. Also, this is our first tournament. This is the first battle of the tournament for both of these players. So they may not be accustomed to these rules, as they are veteran tournament players, like in other tournaments, and there is no unsummoning rule over there, so they just might be used to it. And you know, Tim could have just done it as muscle memory, haven't remembered the rule, and Charix might have seen that, but also didn't think anything of it, thought it was normal. So yeah, as long as the players are fine, then we are fine as well as referees. But I guess Tim should receive a warning for the future, just to remind him of that rule. Anyway, those are the rules surrounding our tournaments. Point number 1 being taken slowly by Beastmen. Orc boys coming in, trying to bring it back. Slightly wrongly picked place of engagement. If they were inside the point, they would still be capping and stopping Orc boys outside of the point. But ultimately, that doesn't matter. We're just 1 minute 15 seconds away from Beastman victory if things stay the same. But point number 1 is being flipped back into Greenskins control, or rather being held. Point number 3 overwhelmed by Beastmen in the meantime, as they forced quite a large contingent of the Greenskin army to rotate back to point number 1, and therefore keeping the initiative as they are also ahead in score, which grants them pretty fair and easy, or rather not easy, but you know, they're confident of their victory by now, by this point. So Greenskins, with their last efforts, trying to summon some savage orcs. They won't even make it to point 3 by the time battle ends. Should use some faster units. Speaking of which, we see some orc boys charging into, or goblin wolf archers. Here we go, these are Boar boys charging into Chaos Warhounds of Poison, who will get quickly obliterated, but still they provided some weight, capture weight onto point number 2, delaying it, making space so that Gorkhard with shields with even higher capture weight can make it in, making sure point number 2 stays firmly in Charix's hands, as is his victory. Let's see the final values. That is 1-0 lead for Charix. Yes, we are doing best of 3s and later on best of 5s. So it's not just best of 1, whoever wins that one battle, as it can be very coin flippy. We really want to promote the best players to go forward, rather than dropping out of the tournament or down to the lower bracket with just 1 loss. Again, if you're curious, check out what we're doing from our announcements, where all the links are provided and whatnot. Let's see the values. Towers of Brass Bull, only 754. So he was kited around the entire battle. He tried to get on Wurrzag, couldn't really. And Wurrzag picked the engagement when he wanted, as he was faster. So great utilization of that statistics here. A lot of people underestimate speed and don't look at it. But if you are the faster guy, you pick your engagements. And that's exactly what Wurrzag did. It didn't bring him victory, but in their individual 1v1 or who uses their lord better, that definitely went to team. Archers, ooh, that's a pretty nice value. Savage Orc boys, or Savage Orcs. Nothing special, 900, pretty nice. 900, pretty nice also for Orc boys. Squig herds, decent. Cavalry, depending on whether they charge into some archers or not, probably. It's another good value over here. Some archers from reinforcements also did well. The river trolls haven't been summoned at all. Whereas the Minotaurs, which is, you know, large infantry, have been really key in securing Charix's victory. Speaking of which, 2,500 on his spellcaster, way better than Wurrzag. So single entities are redeemed there for Charix. The Regiment of Renown, very nice value as well. Let's see their archers. Didn't do much, yeah. They were just chased off by cavalry. So nicely played there by Tim. Getting into these archers, rendering them mostly useless for the entirety of the battle. Centigore is doing really well. Pharaoh Manticore had its time to shine, didn't really utilize it well. And Minotaurs, these are probably focused by some archers, so good on archers there. Okay, that is a victory for Charix, 1-0, and let's see what will happen in battle number 2.